tactics now, these juniors.
Have a go.
Yeah. Do they have 11 players?
Any van
they
Sijn? Van Sijn?
Me? I was just a goalie coach, mate. Arne, chance to go 4 points clear. Obviously, we can look at the situation as Liverpool having the opportunity to put pressure on those chasing you at the top of the table. But how do you see it, particularly with those games coming against Chelsea and Arsenal after the international break?
Yeah, you always look at the first one, and that's Crystal Palace. And I think they already showed how tough of an opponent they are against the big teams like United and Chelsea. In both situations, they got a result. So that's the first game, and that's why it's the most important one and the difficult one for us. 12:30 kickoff after playing at Wednesday evening late in the Champions League. Facing again a team that has a whole week to prepare, but that is part of working at a top club, that we face those teams and we have to be ready for those teams, and that's what we are tomorrow. And I don't look at it at this moment about 1 point, 3 point, 4 points. It's after the weekend, then it's interesting to look at the league table and not after the game we've played.
We've seen two players having a big impact for you at the moment at very different stages of their career. Ryan Gravenberch, 22. What do you make of the progress that he's made this season? And then also we've seen Mo Salah and the numbers that he's producing once again. What enables him to keep producing those kind of numbers at the age, or what do you see in him that allows him to do that at the age of 32?
I think why players play well has first of all to do with the quality they have as a players. So Mo has a lot of quality, Ryan has a lot of quality. Actually, every player that plays here has a lot of quality. Now it's up to us, and I say us because not only me, my staff, it's also the players, to play in the best possible way as a team, and then individuals will do special things. So it was an unbelievable finish from Mo, but the only reason he got the chance to finish was because Trent Alexander-Arnold made an overlapping run, and that's why it opened up on the inside. And yeah, if you give that space to Mo, then he can do, and then he can score a special goal. So again, that's about his quality. It's about Ryan's quality, but the amount of time Virgil or Ibu plays balls through to Ryan, where Ryan can turn and then he can play his balls towards all the good attackers we have. That makes it, in my opinion, a team performance, which is really well. And then, yeah, as a result of that, you see individuals playing good also.
I'm sorry to ask again. Hopefully you understand that I have to ask just to check.
Contracts?
Exactly. Because there's been that more speculation about Trent this week. I just wonder, what can you tell us this week, if anything, about Trent, Mo's, Virgil's contract situation, and any possible developments around that?
I was hoping that you didn't, in your last question, didn't use the word contracts, because then I was saying, yeah, Trent is doing like this and he's doing like this. But it's the same boring answer as always. And I could really understand if you ask me this once every 2 weeks, but if you ask me this after 2-3 days again, then you still get the same answer, and people feel that I'm boring then. Okay. So try it after the international break again.
Morning, Arne. Just on Ryan, he's up for the Premier League Player of the Month. As we mentioned, there, he's only 22. I just wonder how much further he can go in terms of his development, how much more he can improve.
Now, if you look at all the signings we've made at this club for in the past, I don't know how many years, most players were underneath 24, 25. And there's, I think, also reason for this, because you expect players from 22 or 23, especially if they come to a club like Liverpool in this environment and in the way they've worked here, that you expect progress more than you expected maybe, or probably from a player that's 33 or 34. So then it is not that big of a surprise if you bring the qualities like Ryan Gravenberch in, that if you start to work with him, you do the right program and has the teammates that he has, that he can progress, and that's what we are seeing at the moment. Now it's up to him to keep the standards as they are at this moment, and that's a challenge, because he, like all the others, have to play every 3 days, and that is also a challenge for all of us, but also for him, because he hasn't played a lot of games last season. I think now he already played more 90-minute games than he did in the past 2 seasons. So interesting to see how he copes with it, but till now he does really well.
surprised at the way they've started? How big a challenge will they be?
I said many times when it comes to us, and I said it also in relation to Wolves last week, that if you play 6 games, it's so hard to judge the league table. The weird thing, or maybe that's not weird, but they got some results against United and against Chelsea, 2 top teams. So the other results were not as they would have probably wanted it. Last season they finished really strong, lost 1 or 2 good players. That's also clear. But I said about Wolves last week, and I can say the same about this team, that they will do better during the season. Hopefully not tomorrow, of course.
With the international break coming up, obviously your only defeat of the season came straight after the last one. Are you a bit concerned about how much your players are playing at the moment? Do you feel that some of them might need their minutes managed while they are away with their national teams?
No, the first thing I look at is tomorrow, and then we will wait and see if again we are the team where I think last time you guys told me that we had 10 players playing all the minutes, and the next one was 5. I don't know if it's true, but that's what you guys told me. So I have to assume it's true, because journalists always speak the truth, don't they? Yeah. In England they do. So I don't look forward yet towards the games that are coming after the international break. But the difference between this international break and the last one is that this time we play a late kickoff. It's Sunday, and last time we played it Saturday. So it gives us 1 extra day of rest, which is always helpful, especially for the ones that come back with a jet lag from South America.
You said on Wednesday that you didn't create a lot of chances for Darwin Nunez. Is it a case of he needs to work a little bit harder to adapt to your style, or maybe do you need to sort of look at his needs and the way he plays and maybe adapt to him a little bit more?
It's both. It's both. I think it's the challenge we as a staff always have, to bring the best out of the individuals. So we try to find different ways of positioning Darwin than Diogo, because they are not the same players. So their teammates also adjust to the player they are playing with. And that's also what I as a manager have to do, and also what we are doing. Yes, he didn't score in his last game because he was offside as well. So when we bring him the chances, he's able to score. But unfortunately, we couldn't bring him that much in a position we want to. If I'm completely honest, which I like to be just as a journalist, even Diogo didn't had. I think the most goals we scored come from our wingers till now, and Diogo scored 2 when we played West Ham, and then he played from the 10th position. So maybe it's also for us something to look at, although we score a lot of goals, to bring our striker, if it's Diogo or Darwin, even more in positions to score.
Hi, Arne. Being top of the table, are you wary about people getting carried away with the start the club have made?
No, we're at Liverpool. So players are here used to be on top of the table. So it would be very weird if a player at Liverpool then is all of a sudden with his head in the clouds. Is that also something you say? Okay. So no, that's. But if we don't play well tomorrow, people will probably come up with that instead of saying that Palace did well or we maybe did other things wrong. But I don't see this, and that would definitely not be normal. For 2 reasons. These players are experienced enough to understand the league table after 6 games as well, and the schedule we had compared to some other teams. Second of all, Virgil, Ali, Trent, Robbo, they won the league here. Mo, they won the league here. They won the Champions League here. So for them, it's a nice thing to be on top of the table, but I'm not expecting them to watch their mobile every second of the day, seeing them being top of the table.
First of all, Arne, it was me who came up with the stat about players in the international break. I can confirm it was definitely.
Okay.
You mentioned earlier about the 12:30 kickoffs after playing on a Wednesday. Now, lunchtime kickoffs have been quite a debate for Liverpool quite some years, but one thing that's not often mentioned is how often Liverpool played away from home. Another stat for you, since 2017-18, this will be the 40th 12:30 kickoff, and 30 of those have been away from home. Now, currently Premier League rules around playing lunchtime after Europe only kind of govern playing away in the European game. Are you surprised that playing away in the subsequent league game isn't brought into consideration?
In general, I think the league where I'm coming from in Holland, there they are more aware and they try to help the teams that play in Europe more than it happens over here. But to be fair to the English FA, our schedule here is so tight that it's so difficult, and I think it's also something what has to do with the people that are sitting in front of me. So for the television stations, I have the feeling I do an interview every day. So that is why we think I play at 12:30, because I think they can pick which team they want to have on 12:30. Yeah, and then it's 9 out of 10 times Liverpool is included. I don't think it has so much to do with the 12:30 kickoff. For me, it has to do that every away game is difficult. So I showed them last week that 10 out of 18 away games last season didn't lead to a win. So you can then argue if it's 12:30 or is it just difficult to play an away game. And we can come up with Newcastle and Forest, and there were two others where there were last-second winners. So that shows you how difficult it is to play an away game, especially for us in this league. And yeah, because we play so many times then at 12:30, people talk about 12:30. I think we have to talk about an away game, that is difficult. Because if 12:30 was a difficult time to perform, then I'm a really stupid manager, because we train every day at 12 o'clock. So yeah, I don't see the idea behind it being that difficult performing at that time. Wait and see. He didn't train for the last 2 days. He came in today to see if he could train. And if he can, I still have a decision to make, because we can only select 20. And he hasn't trained for a few days. So, but first of all, we have to wait and see if he can even train. And if he can, then it's my decision, our decision, if we bring him to the game or not.
Next one.
You're welcome.